Dear Sajano, this is GyaanPapee and welcome to my channel. Today we'll be discussing summary of the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins. Before starting, I want to let you know that this is not a life coach channel for you. Nothing will change unless you decide to act. So first things first, we promise to be straightforward, informative. Whatever there is in the book, the informations, I'll explain it to you. And honest with our viewers. Most importantly, we value your time. Everything will be explained in a very short span of time. So let's begin with this week's Gyan. The crux of the book will be explained in this slide only. What is the 5-second rule? So 5-second rule says that whenever you have an instinct, whenever you want to do something, whenever you have something to commit to, a goal, then you must do a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and physically move towards that action, or your brain will stop you. Your brain will come up with excuses. Your brain will start a chain of thoughts. Your brain will start to overthink. Your brain will fill up with hesitations before you do that. The example, and she gives this example time and time again in this book, the alarm clock, when it rings, we have all hit snooze button number of times. She says, stop it. Say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, do a countdown and lift yourself up from the bed. The countdown is programmed so that the distractions are not there. The distractions are avoided totally. And it is ended with the affirmative action, because before those kind of hesitations popping up in your brain, you just take an action. Well, this sounds easy. Probably it is. But the problem is you. It's not according to me, according to the author. Right now, we have just explained what is the crux of the book and what is 5-second rule. If you feel comfortable with this rule and if you feel it's okay, you can leave this right now. Otherwise, I'll explain a few basic things and the science behind the rule in the next slides. So let's go. The context, like all other self-improvement books, at the time of inventing this rule, the author was in wretched condition. She was facing financial problems. She was facing problems in her relationship. She was 41 years old, a mother of two, and she was facing a rough patches of her life. Well, she invented this rule out of inspiration from NASA rocket launch, where the countdown begins 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the rocket launches. So she thought that from tomorrow morning I'll launch myself, and that's how the rule was invented for her. She argues that we have the biggest of hurdles in form of smallest of things. The small things like maintaining a healthy diet, like going to the gym, like studying for 30 minutes, concentrating for 15 minutes. These are the biggest hurdle for us. Decisions are made from instincts. These decisions for smallest things we make from instincts and feelings, and that too within a short span. Antonio Damasio, and she discussed this in later part of the book, and I have also put this in later slides. He actually demonstrated through brain damaged people that 95% of our decisions are made out of instincts, out of feeling, because we are feeling machines that can think. We are not thinking machines that can feel. The author also talks about this alarm clock and snooze button repeatedly, and also talks about activation energy. The activation energy, as similar to the chemical reactions, is also true for human beings. We need a certain kind of energy to cross the border, to cross those hesitations, to start some work. Expectation and why this rule works. This rule works because of the pure psychology. Because 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the countdown and the action, the countdown is starting ritual. This removes all kind of distractions that can be popping up in the brain. Well, and that creates a control, a sense of control in your life. And the more you believe that you are in control of your life, the more happy you will be. And that is a psychological concept called locus of control. Ending to-do list creates confidence, and this is also similar to the Nike's tagline, just do it. Well, Nike acknowledges the fact that there are all types of barriers in our life to do the smallest things, because there is hesitations, there are all fear of thoughts, there is fear of failure, there is all kinds of excuses. So that's why the just is also like the countdown 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do it is the affirmative action that you take. She says that it's a metacognition tool. Well, metacognition is anything that you use to trick the brain. Uh, it can also be used to break the rule of habit, because golden rule of habit says that to replace an old habit you have to create new repetitive action. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, in place of old habit you create new habit. She makes a very strong statement that motivation is a myth. Well, she explains that if you're motivated enough to go to a gym, but at the time of hitting the gym, what your mind does is it comes up with a lot of excuses, and it already been postponed to tomorrow. And it has happened to us all. We postpone things for tomorrow, and from tomorrow we are a new person. Well, it doesn't happen. There is always a tomorrow for us. So she says right now is the right time. You need to have everyday courage, and everyday courage can be gained through this rule. How? The silly things, the smallest things you do, that creates confidence, and confidence in effect builds up the courage. The courage that built up for Miss Rosa Parks in mid 1950s, she sparked civil rights movement in USA for black Americans. How she did do that? She just on instinct one fine day decided not to give her seat up for a white gentleman. And Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he at the age of 26 led that movement. How did they decide to do that? Out of instinct. It was not a well thought process. Right time is right now. Why? Because if you are having fear of failure, then why don't you have the fear of success? What if you fail? It can also happen. What if you succeed? We always thought on the negative perspective. What if the perspective, the lens changes, and we see things in a positive manner? What if you have $1 million idea? What if what you're saying is correct? What if you're a great person? And if you're not, then so what? If we explore these two, we can get new ideas about ourselves also. We can explore us also. And using 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the 5-second rule, we can do that. Right here, right now is the right time. Because Shape of You writer Ed Sheeran started his career at the age of 15 at a park playing and singing, where probably nobody could notice him. 50 Shades of Grey writer James, she was writing erotica blogs, and she was a self-published author. She didn't wait for a book deal. We are filling machines that can think. I have already explained this. So basically, in the morning, it's not like, do I want to get up? It's more like, do I feel like getting up? Well, author says that you can't control how you feel, but you can always choose how you act. That's why the 5-second rule ends with an affirmative action. She also proposes that you should start with a morning routine. Use that 5-second rule for a morning routine. Now, she says there is a particular morning routine that she adheres to, and I have written that in my summary. You can go through that. So, what are the benefits of the rule and where you can apply those rules? Now, for the health part, you can do that. For productivity, Parkinson's law says that whatever time you give it to a particular task, the task will expand to it. If it's 2 hours, you will do that in 2 hours. If 3 hours, it's 3 hours. It's a legit rule. It has been taught in many MBA schools. So for increased productivity, you have to give a deadline to a particular task. And destructive procrastination. Now the procrastination is of two types. One is constructive, used for creative projects, innovative projects. Another one is destructive, which destructs our concentration, focus. Now it's because we are not in fear of the work. We fear the stress. Our primitive brain is programmed in such a way that it wants us to stay away from any kind of harm. So that's why it wants to maintain the status quo. But we don't want that. We want to improve ourselves. We want to do hard work. So that's why the destructive procrastination, it should be removed. And you can do that through 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I need to do this. You have to stop worrying. The legacy project is a project. It was started by Human Development School, and it says that it interviews a lot of senior citizens, and their biggest regret was they worried too much. And anxiety. Panic versus panic attack. Panic happens when you know the reason of the panic. Panic attack happens you don't know, you have no idea from where this panic is coming from. So in that case, try to explore the reason of the panic. Beat fear, anchor thoughts. Anchor thoughts is nothing but going to your happy places. Confidence is a skill. Now, this is another strong statement. Confidence is not an inborn talent, it's a skill. It's extension of everyday courage. Pursuing passion, you can also pursue passion. First, you have to do explore your feeling, explore the hobby you love, photography maybe. Then build momentum, try to understand, see YouTube videos, read books. You are building momentum, then have courage to commit to that hobby, and then have faith. Enrich relationships. This is a modified rule. A fan of Mel actually made this modification where he said that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and nothing important should be remaining unsaid. And that's has worked wonders for her also. She had a beautiful relationship with her dad after, and a beautiful conversation with her dad after she discovered that her father has a brain tumor. It's all written in the book. It's also in the summary. So that's all about the book. It's a shorter version. The summary is available with me. I've written the summary. If you want that, you can mail me at thegyanpapee@gmail.com. And there are 4 links of Mel Robbins videos, her TED Talk shows. And at the end of this video, I want to thank you for watching this. You don't need to share, like, or subscribe this because I feel great. I love to read books. It feels great to share those learnings with you. I always write summaries of the book. So it feels great. You don't need to. There is no obligation for you to like, share, or subscribe. I will continue to do so. And just I want to know if we have helped you, and that's enough for us. If we didn't, well, next time we'll try harder. Thank you, and see you later.